You never know when inspiration is going to strike.
Catching it and acting on it is how Mike and Jessica started their candle making business named Magically Scented. I ride motorcycles with Mike and I decided to meet up with them to check out Magically Scented.
Tell everybody how the idea for Magically Scented came about and how you got started.
We were both working full-time jobs. I was working at a factory of 11 years. Jessica was working as a dental assistant. Had a lot of things going on with our son. He had a lot of medical issues. Just randomly one day, I just told my wife, I want to make a candle. I looked everything on Amazon. I bought the wick, I bought the jar, I bought the fragrance. I put everything together and everything hardened and didn't light. It didn't smell and it didn't burn.
So we started researching other places and we would go down and ask them so is the dimension of the jar versus the wick versus this, is that something that wrong? We took all their information, we gathered it, we put it to a test, and how we figured it out. So we are here today with something that smells amazing.
Mike and Jessica make all of their candles by hand from their home in Gardner, Mass. The wicks are set by hand, fragrances and coloring are carefully measured and added, the wax poured into glass jars and then left to set up. Once the labels are added, the finished candles can be ordered online and picked up or shipped directly to your door.
I was looking up other ideas to add to it. I saw some lady making these car freshies. I was like, oh, let's do it. And he was like, you're crazy. No, well, I'm gonna do it.
It all falls into
Yeah.
play too.
Yeah.
It comes together.
Tell us how the two of you have decided to divide up the responsibilities in the business.
So I do the ordering and the financial part of all of that. He does the website, the computer, the media, all of that stuff. I do making the candles, the wax melts, and then he chimes in and helps with that. We come up with new ideas together. We'll sit down, we'll talk about it. And at the end of the day, we're all there to, support each other, and we're all going to the same place.
Right. What have been the biggest challenges and the biggest rewards in doing a business like that?
We went from tins to glass because we thought that maybe it was the tins that weren't giving us the better scent, so we went to glass instead. So all those tins that we ended up making candles out of that weren't working, we came up with a great idea that some people can't have wicked candles. So I was like, oh my goodness, how about we take the wicks out of them and we make them wickless?
Yeah.
So that way there we can't waste the product, we can still salvage it. So that's what we did. So now we have the wickless candle.
The kids watch us and they ask questions and they ask, can we smell stuff? Can we look at stuff? We're teaching them, value and hard work. So they're like, well, when we get older, we want to run the candle company.
Tell us about the creative process.
We kind of took the basic, scents that a lot of people like, lavender, more like summer scents, so we have ocean breeze or, fruity, it's strawberry or wildberry. So those are basic scents that we kind of just, said, hey, these gotta be a given. Some kids like watermelon, so stuff like that. But then, creating things like sometimes we want to mix things and we mix things so nobody else knows what we have as scents, and it's our own creation and it's ours. It feels like it's a solid thing because it's ours. Nobody has that.
And one of our fall lines that we did this past fall that will come back this coming fall is the smoky maple that we so we didn't have you can't find that anymore. So we created that ourselves. And you can't get that from your Yankee candle or your other candle companies that you have. Nobody has that the way we make it. So we try to come out with new ones each year. For the summer or the spring coming up, we'll add into more flowery scents.
What makes your products different?
So, we use double-wick. You always get a clean, even burn. A lot of places use a single wick for the size jar that we use. We put 2 smaller wicks in to achieve the same goal as if it were 1 wick.
Along with not using paraffin or wax in their products, Jessica uses California's Prop 65 database
So basically what I do is wherever I order from, I have to make sure that they follow those guidelines. And I go through every ingredient that they have on their list and I put it into their database and I make sure that it doesn't come up causing any birth defects, anything that is going to be related to pregnancies, anything that's going to harm children, cause cancer, or anything like that. If it doesn't come up, then that's why we use it. Everything is made so that it's non-toxic. So, you know, like our chapstick, you can eat our chapstick basically.
If you want to.
Yeah. That's what makes us different and unique. Not only just because of the way we make our scents, but also because we don't have the toxics.
When somebody lights one of your candles for the first time, what is it you want them to feel?
So, you know, I want them to feel at peace. We've had a customer, you know, look us up for a specific wickless candle, and they said, you know, we feel great. Our mother loves it, we love it, and, you know, we're coming to you forever. And like that touches us, that hits us.
Mike and Jess are making a variety of products, not just candles, body lotion, room sprays, hand soaps, bath bombs, bath salts. You can follow Magically Scented on Facebook for holiday specials and to sign up for discounts on their products. And here's a list of some local businesses that carry their products as well. So good luck to Mike and Jessica and Magically Scented.